It's 3 o'clock in the morning. The house is quiet. The world is asleep. But you are wide awake. Have you been there? Lying in the dark, staring at the ceiling, feeling a strange mix of exhaustion and a frustrating, buzzing alertness? You've tried everything. You've counted sheep. You've tried deep breathing. You've replayed every conversation from the day. But your mind just won't shut off. Maybe it's a dull ache in your hip that keeps pulling you out of that precious drift toward sleep. Or perhaps it's a worry, a quiet anxiety about tomorrow, about a doctor's appointment, about the future that just circles and circles, refusing to land. You feel a profound sense of loneliness in those pre-dawn hours, don't you? It feels like a secret battle that no one else understands. You know you need to sleep. You know that tomorrow you'll feel the price of this sleepless night. The brain fog, the short temper, the bone-deep weariness that makes even simple tasks feel like climbing a mountain. But what if I told you that this nightly struggle isn't just a simple case of insomnia? What if it's something more, a trap? A vicious cycle where the very things that keep you awake, the pain, the anxiety, the medications you take, are made worse by your lack of sleep? And in turn, that worsening pain and anxiety make it even harder to sleep the next night. It's a downward spiral, and it can feel like there's no way out. But there is. In this video, we are going to pull back the curtain on this vicious cycle. We will unravel exactly why it happens as we get older, and most importantly, I'm going to give you a clear 5-step plan, a plan that does not involve another prescription, to break free from this trap and finally reclaim the deep, restorative sleep you deserve. If any of what I just described hits close to home, please take a deep breath and know that you are not failing. Your body isn't betraying you. It's caught in a feedback loop that, until now, you may not have had the map to navigate. Understanding this cycle is the absolute first step to dismantling it piece by piece. This isn't about just finding a quick fix. It's about restoring a fundamental, natural rhythm that your body is craving. But before we start walking this path together, I need to know that you're with me. If you are serious about taking back control of your health and your nights, do me a quick favor. Take a moment to click that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. This isn't just about watching a video, it's about joining a community committed to aging with power and clarity. And while you're there, let me know in the comments. What is the single biggest thing that disrupts your sleep? Is it a specific pain, a recurring worry, or something else entirely? Your voice matters deeply here. Now let's begin. Step number 1, reclaim your sanctuary. I want you to think about your bedroom for a moment. Is it a place of peace, tranquility, and rest? Or has it, over time, become a battleground? A place filled with frustration, anxiety, and the quiet dread of another sleepless night. For so many of us struggling with insomnia, the bedroom itself becomes the primary trigger for our sleeplessness. Here's the science behind this, and it's surprisingly simple. Our brains are powerful association machines. Think of Pavlov's famous dogs who learned to salivate at the sound of a bell because they associated it with food. Our brains work in the exact same way with our environment. If, night after night, you lie in bed tossing and turning, your mind racing with worries, your hip throbbing with pain, your brain learns a powerful lesson. It learns to associate your pillow, your blankets, your very bedroom with the stressful experience of not sleeping. So what happens? You might feel perfectly sleepy watching television on the couch. You're yawning, your eyes are heavy. But the moment you walk into your bedroom and pull back the covers, something shifts. Your heart rate might quicken just a little, your mind starts to hum with alertness. A little voice kicks in. Oh no, here we go again. Will I be able to sleep tonight? Without you even realizing it, your brain has heard the bell, your bedroom, and has started producing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, preparing you for a fight, not for sleep. You have developed what experts call conditioned arousal. You have unintentionally trained your brain to be awake in the one place you need to be asleep. Imagine this scenario. It's 10:30 p.m. You've had a long day. You finish your cup of herbal tea, turn off the living room lights, and head to bed. But as you cross the threshold into your room, you feel it. A subtle tightening in your chest. Your thoughts, which were quiet moments ago, now begin to race. Did I remember to lock the back door? I hope that pain in my shoulder doesn't act up. What if I can't sleep? I have that appointment with the grandkids tomorrow, and I'll be a zombie. Your bedroom, which should be a haven, has become the stage for your nightly performance of anxiety. This is the very heart of the psychological trap in the vicious cycle. So, how do we break this conditioning? We have to retrain the brain. We have to be disciplined and rewrite the script. And it starts with two non-negotiable rules. The first is the golden rule. Your bed is for two things and two things only: sleep and intimacy. That's it. No more watching the nightly news in bed. No more scrolling through your phone or tablet. No more balancing the checkbook, eating snacks, or having stressful conversations with your partner while under the covers. By doing those things, you are muddying the waters and confusing your brain's associations. From now on, your bed is a sacred space reserved exclusively for rest. The second, and perhaps the most important rule, is the 20-minute rule. If you get into bed and you are not asleep within what feels like about 20 minutes, you must get up. I know this sounds counterintuitive. Your instinct is to stay put and try harder to sleep. But that is precisely what reinforces the negative conditioning. Lying in bed, frustrated and awake, is the very act that teaches your brain that bed is a place for frustrated wakefulness. So you get out of bed. You go to another room, keeping the lights as low as possible, and you do something mind-numbingly boring. This is not the time to organize your tax receipts or start a thrilling novel. Read the user manual for your microwave. Listen to some calm, ambient music. Do a few very gentle stretches. The goal is not to entertain yourself. The goal is to wait until you feel genuinely sleepy again. And only then, when your eyelids are heavy and you feel the pull of sleep, do you return to bed. In the beginning, you might have to do this 2, 3, maybe even 4 times a night. Be patient. This is not a failure. It is the training process. With every time you get up, you are teaching your brain a powerful new lesson. The couch is for being awake, but the bed is for sleeping. By reclaiming your bedroom as a sanctuary for sleep, you take the psychological power away from insomnia. You begin to dismantle the anxiety part of the cycle. But soothing the mind is only half the battle. We also have to address the body, especially the persistent aches and pains that can make finding a comfortable position feel impossible. That brings us directly to our second step: managing the physical static that keeps your body on high alert. Step number 2, soothe the body's static. I'm talking about the static, that low-grade persistent hum of physical discomfort. For many of us, it's the chronic pain of arthritis, the stiffness in our lower back, the tingling of neuropathy in our feet, or the ache in a shoulder that's seen a lifetime of work. This physical static is a powerful enemy of sleep. Let's look at why. When you are in pain, your nervous system is on high alert. It's like a motion detector that's constantly being tripped. It sends a steady stream of danger signals to your brain, telling it to stay vigilant. But sleep requires the exact opposite. To fall asleep, your brain needs to feel safe. It needs to switch off the alarm systems and enter a state of deep relaxation. Pain keeps that alarm system blaring all night long. This is where the vicious cycle becomes incredibly cruel. The lack of sleep then pours gasoline on the fire of your pain. When you don't get enough deep, restorative sleep, a few things happen in your body. First, levels of inflammatory chemicals, like cytokines, go up. This means areas that are already inflamed, like arthritic joints, become even more irritated and painful. Second, your brain's perception of pain changes. Your natural pain threshold literally lowers. That dull ache in your hip that was a 4 out of 10 yesterday might feel like a 6 or 7 out of 10 today, simply because you are sleep deprived. Your resilience is gone. Think about trying to find that one perfect painless position in bed. It's a delicate negotiation, isn't it? You prop a pillow under your knees, another between them. You roll carefully onto your side, trying not to jostle your shoulder. For a moment, you find it, a position of relative peace. You begin to drift off, and then you shift, just a fraction of an inch, and a sharp twinge shoots through your back, jolting you wide awake. Your heart is pounding. The frustration floods back in. It feels like you're trying to find quiet in a room where a tiny, insistent bell rings every single time you move. You're physically exhausted, yet your own body won't let you rest. So, how do we turn down the volume on this physical static? We can't always eliminate the source of the pain, but we can change our body's response to it, especially in the crucial hours before bed. This is about creating a deliberate, pre-sleep body-soothing ritual. First, consider gentle, targeted movement. I'm not talking about a workout. I mean a 10-minute routine of slow, deliberate stretches designed to release tension in your specific problem areas. If it's your lower back, lie on the floor and gently pull your knees to your chest. If it's your hips, try a gentle figure 4 stretch. The goal here is not to gain flexibility, but to signal to your muscles and joints that it's time to let go of the day's tension. Breathe deeply into each stretch. Second, embrace the power of temperature. One of the most effective, science-backed sleep aids is a warm bath or shower taken about 90 minutes before you plan to go to bed. This does 2 magical things. The warm water itself is incredibly soothing for aching joints and stiff muscles. But more importantly, it raises your core body temperature. When you get out, your body begins to cool down, and this rapid drop in temperature is a powerful primal signal to your brain that it's time to produce melatonin and prepare for sleep. If a full bath is too much, even just soaking your feet in warm water or applying a warm compress to a sore back or shoulder for 15 minutes can be wonderfully effective. Finally, and this may be the most powerful tool of all, is to practice a mindful body scan before you even try to sleep. Get into your comfortable pre-sleep spot, maybe sitting on the edge of the bed, and close your eyes. Bring your attention to your feet. Just notice the sensations there without judgment. Are they warm, cool, tingling, aching? Don't try to change it. Just notice it. Then slowly move your attention up your body, to your calves, your knees, your thighs. When you get to an area of pain, the instinct is to tense up and think, oh, there it is. This is going to keep me up. Instead, try to breathe into the sensation. Acknowledge it gently. Okay, my hip is aching tonight. And then continue your scan. What you're doing is changing your relationship with the pain. You are unhooking the physical sensation from the anxious, catastrophic thoughts that usually accompany it. You are lowering the alarm not by ignoring the trigger, but by reassuring your nervous system that you are safe. By calming the body's static, you address the physical driver of the sleep pain cycle. But we've only dealt with the mind and the muscles. What about the fuel we are putting into our system? The food we eat, and just as importantly, when we eat it, can either be a powerful sleep promoter or a hidden saboteur, creating internal turmoil just when we need peace. Step number 3, reset your internal clock with light and food. Deep within your brain, there's a tiny region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Think of it as your body's master clock. This clock, also known as your circadian rhythm, governs hundreds of processes, from your body temperature and blood pressure to your hormone release and, most critically, your drive to be awake and your drive to sleep. As we age, the gears of this internal clock can become a little less precise. The signal isn't quite as strong as it used to be, which makes it much more sensitive to disruption. What sets this master clock every single day? 2 primary powerful signals from the outside world, light and food. Get these two signals right, and you provide your body with the clear, consistent instructions it needs to sleep well. Get them wrong, and you create a state of internal confusion that is a recipe for insomnia. Let's start with food, specifically the timing of your meals. Imagine your digestive system has its own daily schedule. During the day, it's active, ready, and waiting to efficiently process the food you eat. But as evening approaches, it's supposed to start its closing shift. It slows down, cleans up, and prepares for a long night of rest and repair, just like the rest of your body. Now, picture this common scenario. You eat a nice, full dinner around 7:30 p.m. Then, at 9:30, while watching a movie, you decide a little bowl of ice cream or a sleeve of crackers sounds like a nice treat. It seems harmless, right? But here's what's happening inside. Your digestive system, which was just about to clock out for the night, suddenly gets a new work order. It has to rev back up. Digestive acids are produced. Your pancreas releases insulin to handle the sugar. Your metabolism, which should be slowing down, kicks into a higher gear. You then go to bed an hour later, but your insides are still hard at work. This can lead to that uncomfortable feeling of fullness, indigestion, or even acid reflux that can jolt you awake. More subtly, that spike in blood sugar and insulin actively works against the production of sleep hormones like melatonin. You've essentially told your body it's work time with food, while simultaneously trying to tell your brain it's sleep time by getting into bed. Your body is getting mixed signals, and the result is fragmented, poor-quality sleep. The solution is to create a clear boundary. The single most effective rule here is the 3-hour rule. Aim to finish your last significant meal of the day at least 3 hours before you get into bed. This gives your digestive system ample time to complete its main job so that it can rest and repair along with your brain. Think of it as the kitchen is closed policy for your body. To make this easier, try front-loading your calories. Make breakfast and lunch your more substantial meals when your metabolism and digestive fire are at their strongest, and have a lighter, easier to digest dinner. Now for the second and arguably most powerful signal, light. Your master clock is incredibly sensitive to light, especially the light you see in the morning. Getting 10 to 15 minutes of direct morning sunlight, ideally within the first hour of waking, is like pressing the master reset button on your circadian rhythm. That bright, natural light hits the back of your eye and sends a powerful signal to your brain that says, "The day has officially begun." This one simple act helps to lock in your 24-hour cycle, making it far more likely that your brain will know exactly when to start releasing melatonin 14 to 16 hours later, right on schedule. You don't need to stare at the sun, just sit by a window or on your porch with your morning coffee. By managing the timing of your food and your exposure to light, you are no longer just dealing with the symptoms of bad sleep. You are fundamentally recalibrating the master control system that governs it. You're giving your body the clear, unambiguous signals it needs to orchestrate a beautiful night of deep, restorative rest. But this finely tuned system doesn't just rely on external cues. It runs on a delicate balance of internal chemical messengers. And as we get older and often find ourselves managing multiple health conditions, the medications we take can unknowingly disrupt this delicate chemistry, becoming a hidden driver of our sleepless nights. Step number 4, conduct a medication audit. Let me be absolutely clear from the outset. This is not about telling you to stop taking your medications. The prescriptions you take are often vital for managing chronic conditions and maintaining your health. This step is about empowerment. It's about becoming an informed, active partner in your healthcare and understanding that some of these life-saving drugs can have unintended consequences on your sleep. Here's the hidden truth. Many common medications prescribed to seniors can disrupt the delicate architecture of your sleep, even if insomnia isn't listed as the number one side effect. They can interfere with the chemical messengers and hormones we've been talking about, essentially working against your body's natural desire to rest. Let's look at a few common examples. Take beta blockers, a very common class of medication for high blood pressure or heart conditions. They work by blocking the effects of adrenaline, which is wonderful for your heart. However, in doing so, they can also suppress your brain's ability to release melatonin, our primary sleep hormone. It's like trying to start your car with a weak battery. The key is in the ignition, but the spark isn't strong enough to turn the engine over. You might fall asleep, but you won't stay asleep. Or consider corticosteroids like prednisone, often used to fight inflammation from arthritis or autoimmune conditions. These are synthetic versions of cortisol, which is your body's natural wake-up-and-go hormone. Taking a steroid, especially in the afternoon or evening, is like drinking a powerful cup of coffee right before you want to wind down. It puts your body into a state of high alert, making sleep feel almost impossible. Even something as common as a diuretic or water pill can be a major saboteur. The effect is obvious. It makes you need to use the restroom more often. But we often dismiss this as a minor inconvenience. It's not. Waking up 2 or 3 times a night breaks your sleep into fragmented, unrefreshing pieces. You never get the chance to descend into the deep, restorative stages of sleep where the real magic of healing and memory consolidation happens. Even some antidepressants and statins, while essential for many, have been linked to sleep disturbances in some individuals, either by being too activating or by causing muscle aches that disrupt comfort. Let's imagine a gentleman we'll call Frank. Frank has his sleep routine dialed in. His bedroom is cool, dark, and quiet. He does his gentle stretches and has a light dinner at 6 p.m., but like clockwork, he wakes up at 2 a.m., his mind buzzing. He feels utterly defeated. What Frank doesn't realize is that he takes his daily beta blocker with his dinner. That small, essential pill is quietly pulling the plug on his melatonin production just a few hours later, right when he needs it most. He blames his age, his worries, everything but the one variable he hasn't considered. So, what is the action step here? It's not to experiment on your own. It is to initiate a crucial conversation with your healthcare provider. Here's how you do it. First, become a detective. Take a piece of paper and list every single medication you take, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, and even supplements. Next to each one, write down the time of day you take it. Then, schedule an appointment with your doctor or pharmacist for the specific purpose of discussing your sleep. Don't try to squeeze it into a visit for something else. Go in with your list and ask these powerful questions. I'm struggling with my sleep. Could any of my medications or the timing of them be contributing to this? For this specific medication, is it possible to take it in the morning instead of at night? Are there alternative medications for my condition that are known to be less disruptive to sleep? Your pharmacist in particular is an incredibly valuable and often underutilized resource. They are experts in how drugs work in the body and can be a fantastic partner in this investigation. The goal is to work with your medical team to see if simple adjustments, like changing the timing of a diuretic to the morning, can make a world of difference to your nights. Becoming an informed advocate for your own health is a giant leap out of the vicious cycle. But even with the perfect room, a soothed body, and an optimized medication schedule, there is one final frontier we must cross. We must address the one thing that can follow us into even the quietest, darkest room, the relentless looping track of our own worries. Step number 5, tame the racing mind. This is the internal monologue of what-ifs, should-haves, and I need to remembers that seems to get switched on the moment our head hits the pillow. It's the anxiety about a future doctor's appointment, the financial worry that keeps looping, the replaying of a difficult conversation, or the fear of becoming a burden on our loved ones. These are not trivial concerns. They are the real significant worries of our lives. Why does this happen so powerfully at night? There's a fascinating reason. During the day, our minds are busy. We're running errands, talking to people, watching television. These distractions keep our deeper anxieties simmering on the back burner. But when we turn off the lights and lie down in the quiet, all those external distractions disappear. Suddenly, the worries that were whispering all day have a megaphone. At the same time, something is happening in our brain. The logical, rational, problem-solving part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, is starting to go offline as we prepare for sleep. However, the emotional center, the amygdala, which is like our fear and threat detector, stays very much online. The result? We experience our worries with their full emotional force, but without the rational part of our brain that can put them in perspective. It's like having an emotional gas pedal stuck to the floor with no access to the logical brake. This is why a small concern at 3 p.m. can feel like an unsolvable, life-altering catastrophe at 3 a.m. Imagine you're lying in bed. A thought about your daughter, who lives across the country, pops into your head. In the daytime, you might think, I should call her tomorrow. But at night, that thought snowballs. Is she okay? What if she needs me? I'm so far away. I'm not the parent I used to be. What if something happens and I can't get there? In moments, a simple thought has morphed into a tidal wave of guilt and fear. Your heart is pounding. Sleep is now a distant memory. You have been ambushed by your own mind. To break this cycle, we can't just tell our brains to stop thinking. That's like trying not to think of a pink elephant. Instead, we need to give our worries a different time and place to exist. We need to create a new ritual called a worry time. Here's how it works. About an hour before you even start your wind-down routine, sit down in a quiet place with a simple notebook and a pen. For 10 to 15 minutes, you are going to give yourself permission to worry intentionally. Write down every single thing that is on your mind. No filter, no judgment. Get it all out of your head and onto the paper. The to-do list for tomorrow, the fear about your health, the nagging financial concern, everything. Then go through your list and, for each item, ask yourself, is there a single small action I can take to address this? If the answer is yes, write that one small step down. Not solve world hunger, but call the insurance company tomorrow morning or ask my son for help with the computer. If the answer is no, if the worry is completely out of your control, you simply acknowledge it. You see it there on the paper. When your 15 minutes are up, you do the most important thing of all. You physically close the notebook. This is a powerful, symbolic act. You are telling your brain, I have listened to you. Your concerns have been heard and documented. They are safe here on this paper, waiting for us in the morning. Your job is done for tonight. By scheduling a time to worry, you take away its power to ambush you in the dark. If a thought pops into your head later as you're lying in bed, you can gently say to yourself, thank you, but we've already dealt with that. It's in the book. You're not fighting the thought, you are calmly redirecting it. By externalizing our worries, we complete the final piece of this 5-step puzzle. We've addressed our environment, our body, our internal clock, our medications, and now our mind. When you begin to put these 5 steps together, you're not just fighting insomnia anymore. You are actively rebuilding the very foundation of natural, restorative sleep, piece by powerful piece. As we've journeyed through these 5 steps together, I hope you're beginning to see a powerful truth emerge. The sleeplessness you've been battling isn't a single monstrous enemy. It's not a personal failing or an inevitable consequence of getting older. It is a chain of interconnected links, a vicious cycle. And the most important thing about a chain is that you only need to break one link to weaken the entire structure. You see how the pain in your body keeps your mind on alert, and how the lack of sleep then makes that pain feel sharper the next day. You see how the anxiety that races in the dark is triggered by a bedroom that no longer feels like a sanctuary. You see how a late-night snack or a poorly timed medication can disrupt your body's ancient internal clock, making it impossible for it to know when to rest. It all connects. This is why just trying one thing, like taking a sleep aid, so often fails. It's like trying to patch a single hole in a leaking roof during a rainstorm. The real solution lies in understanding the whole system. This isn't about fighting 5 different battles. It's about fundamentally supporting your body and mind in their natural, God-given desire to find rest and restoration. I know this can feel like a lot of information, and making these changes requires patience and commitment. But I want you to reframe this not as a daunting challenge, but as an incredible opportunity. This is your chance to become the expert on your own body. It's an opportunity to reclaim a part of your life that you may have felt was lost forever. Every small step you take, getting out of bed when you can't sleep, taking that warm bath, scheduling that talk with your doctor, closing your worry journal, is an act of profound self-care and empowerment. You are taking back control. You are sending a clear message to your body and mind that you are working with them, not against them, on this journey back to health. I truly hope this deep dive has been valuable for you. If it opened your eyes in any way or gave you even one new idea to try, please take a moment to hit that like button. It's a small click for you, but it tells YouTube that this information is important. And it helps us reach so many more seniors who are lying awake right now feeling alone in this struggle. And please, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss our next video. We are building a real community here, a place dedicated to aging with strength, dignity, and knowledge. Stay strong, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.